Okay, well, people have submitted questions. We've got these very nicely made BBC introducing cue cards today. Me and Harriet are going to be putting questions to you.
We are professionals, James.
Yeah, exactly. That have been sent to us via Instagram. And yeah, they could get weird and wonderful. We'll see what comes up. I think a good place to start, though, a nice question to ease things in. Is it better to sign to a label or stay independent? And I feel like that's an age-old question with no right or wrong answer.
Yeah, but
there is no one answer.
We're also half biased because we haven't signed to a label.
But sometimes I feel like it would have been easier if we had.
Oh, Christ. Yeah. It's that thing of, I mean, we could go really deep on that question.
Let's do it. Let's go.
Are you ready?
Well, you know, we've gone down the route of wanting full control over everything, and we have had offers on the table in the past where from a label being like, you know, this is X amount of money that we'll give you, and this is X amount of control that you'll have, and this is how much help you'll get from us. And I guess from the way that we've seen it is like, well, how do we know we're going to get that for X amount? And then we make a decision on how much control we want to lose for that.
And I guess it's kind of about decision making, and there's a lot of decision making when you're running everything. And so with a label, I think some decisions get made above you. So we've got the decisions, but they are harder to make, so it's just more work, really.
If you do it independently, you're doing it about the creative output that you're putting out, but you have to work really, really hard at just making sure everything's covered. Whereas a label will deal with so much of that stuff for you, so you can just focus on creating, but you are giving away the rights to your music forever.
For like rising artists that are like you doing it themselves, but have a limited budget, what are some of the key things that you're like, okay, this is where I would prioritize money in terms of return on investment. This is where I prioritize spend when campaigning a new track or album or release EP.
That's really tough. That is really tough because no answer is guaranteed. You can always sort of... Learning how to design is one key thing, because you need to be able to make your own posters. You need to be able to do all your banners on Facebook, everything like that. So getting
or
Photoshop
have a good cheap mate that
can do design.
That's
good
doing
at it. And you can just shoot them some money to do it.
Yeah.
Because you've got to cover all of that and consider all those aspects. And then it's the PR's the most expensive one. And it's dangerous because you don't know what you're going to get back from it. You can spend as much as you want, but it doesn't mean what you spend, you see any kind of return on that, because you could be paying PR companies to do all the PR stuff around it to try and get you interviews. Doesn't mean those interviews are good or get seen by people. And we've gone through that quite a few times. So we spend quite a lot of money on PR.
It's kind of unquantifiable, isn't it?
You don't quite... It's a really tough industry to figure out. There's no yes or no to any answer. It's always like you just got to see what works and kind of keep rolling with that, because maybe PRing is not what works for you.
Yeah.
Maybe just doing your own Instagram is what completely works for you, and therefore you've got a free platform to work with.
One person said, what's your main source of income? So, you've got merch, ticket sales, streams. I guess you mentioned funding as well. What's your kind of main source?
Spotify. Yeah.
All day.
So somebody else asked, then how much does Spotify pay per
Nothing.
stream? Yes.
Absolutely nothing.
You just smashing it on Spotify, basically.
Well, yeah. Yeah, do you
Been
want to cover
lucky
that?
It works for us. I don't know. I think maybe because we make quite eclectic music, and it seems to just get playlisted and on the radios a lot, that people find us and just keep playing us regularly.
You're always on my Spotify radios for other artists. Yeah.
We've been very fortunate with the algorithms.
Yeah.
We tend to not look at them enough because it's like, it's just some magic thing that seems to have worked for us. And
Somebody asked, how do I know how much to charge per gig? I'm sure that's a difficult question. It depends where you are, I suppose, in your career.
When you're starting out, under £10 a ticket. That's a good way to do it, because I remember chatting to a mate and he was like, your tickets are always under £10 and I always come to see you because of that.
How much do merch sales support your income?
Tours, it just
tours.
it makes tours worth it. Otherwise, you make nothing from tours.
Yeah, that's it. But it's not so much. We don't do a massive amount online, but during the tours, they're the thing that you sell merch. It goes it goes straight into the van into petrol. You kind of dealing with cash and card sort of payments, but it's what pays for being on the road. You just put it straight back into the van. You're paying everyone's per diems, all the crew that you've got with them. That's the cash that's going straight into their hand the next day, so everyone can buy lunch. But it's the thing that gets you through a tour.
Somebody else asked what type of merch is best.
T-shirts and vinyl for us.
T-shirts and vinyl, like other stuff is a bit of a faff, and you don't make enough kind of back. But yeah, T-shirts and vinyl, people are always going to buy, and obviously vinyl because it's like you've gone to see the music and then you take it home.
We're also kicking about so people can get it signed as well.
Yeah, especially like on the earlier shows, get down to your merch like desk and talk to people and like cajole them into stuff in a nice way.
So we've got merch as a good earner on tour. We've got streams, obviously, is the main earner for you guys, which is amazing. And
if you can, I think it's about like finding what your biggest kind of flash card is and then using that. So ours was streams, but yours could be that loads of people come to your shows, or I don't know, places. Yeah, people listen to you on radio, like play you on radio,
just
whatever it is.
Like an Instagrammer all of a sudden,
your
and
biggest
people just
stat.
following massively, and you dig into that.
Get your biggest
Big
stat
time.
and flash it at everyone.
because you guys, I'm right in saying now, are completely full-time Elder Island, right?
Yeah.
At what point did you go, we're going to do this, and did it feel like a massive leap of faith?
Yeah, leap of faith.
It was tours, wasn't it? It was
yeah.
disrupting all our
The
jobs.
tour,
Yeah.
It's like,
Can I have another few months off?
I think it was only in 2019 that it became like a legitimate thing, because we were touring internationally at that point, and we'd done our first headline European and UK, US tour, and then I know I was still working in between that, and then we went back out and did another European and US tour in the same year, and then we finished with Printworks in London in like 2020, and then went into we can afford to make the album now and just to sort of sit back and do this as our full-time thing.
Funding, I guess, is kind of a big income for you guys as well, and must really help you. Could you just describe what that income was and what it was meant to be used for?
Yeah, we got PRS Momentum funding to make our first album, and that was literally to be able to pay for recording costs and a producer and just helping put those bits together. And I think we got
Megs.
Yeah, Megs was the other one, which is like the musical export growth scheme, which is granted to bands that have an international following, and it allows them to fund tours, and it's what funded our first international tour, essentially. I think we got it twice.
We did, yeah.
We did get it twice.
It was essentially for that first album, both sides
that whole
of it.
campaign. And that was a massive help, because when we did the first international tour, our bank balance was at like £10.
What kind of funding pots are there out there, and how do you write a grant that gets you picked?
Writing it's an interesting question, because you have
That's
to
the long
really
thing,
know what you want and really show how thorough you have been to ask for it. I think that helps a lot.
Yeah, it's like writing a mini business plan to get them each time. But there's a lot. The PRS one's a really good one to look into for making music. And then just any art scheme sort of based ones. We do in UK, we do have a lot of good art grants.
Yeah, council grants.
Yeah. That they will do for musicians, and it's just apply for them all.
What are the best ways to start generating some income as a smaller artist?
I think it is merch to start. Yeah. You kind of just design something which you can sell at shows, online. It's really easy to set up online shops nowadays with anything. We use Music Glue, and it's just been pretty easy to take a picture of a product, put it up. You can just send it. We used to just send it from our house. We just had all the merch at home and just posted it up, send it out. And it's just simple ways to go. You get paid immediately from that kind of stuff that way, which is really good. And Bandcamp is obviously really good as well for that kind of stuff.
Booming at the moment.
Yeah. Like you put your music on Bandcamp, a little bit of merch on there as well, and it just like you get a nice little trickle of income that starts to come through.
I know a lot of people that DJ for like radio shows, online radio shows, and they're always buying on Bandcamp. They're always just going, searching and be like, right, what can I get? So that,
appeal to your fellow musos.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it looks cool, people want to buy it.
Oh,
Get
yeah.
a good design on it.
I mean, a good design gets you everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like that's why our first EP did so well, because the front cover of the map was so cool.
I think
The
it applies
music.
to everything. It's like fake it till you make it. If you make yourself look better than you are, people will kind of believe that you are, and then it
great
kind
advice.
of like rolls like that.
I think that's all we're ever doing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like that's all anyone's
Anything
doing in
you do.
life. Instagram, the lot. So guys, a massive round of applause, please, for Elder
Thank you for having
Islands.
us.
Thank you.
Cheers. Thank you for coming.
Thanks for having us.